in regards to the phone, let's spend some time on that as well. A couple of different things I could tell you is 250 dials should be a minimum that you make for each and every one of you, including your agents, if you're a manager, etc. This is the message you need to get across to every single producer out there. And if you're not aware of it as a producer, it's for you as well. 250 dials is something that should be a minimum dial every single week, no matter what. No matter whether you hit 30 appointments, you should still dial 250 times. So dials work like this. If you dial that number one time, that counts as a dial. So when I'm dialing leads, I'll dial the same phone number at least 3 times in a row. And then also I'll do a *67, block that number. And it's amazing when an unknown calls comes after you've called the same number 4 times in a row. When the unknown call number shows up, you'll set about 3 more appointments every single week just based off of blocking your number. People are curious on why you're calling so much. So that's one strategy that I think is important for you to do if you're not doing already. The other scenario is I'm a big fan of voicemail. I've always said at least 3 more appointments a week, leaving voicemails, especially when we're talking about internet live lead or some sort of social media lead, because those are more of a call to action, like right away. Direct mail, they don't expect a call right away. Does that make sense? I mean, you do want to call those right away as well, but it's not as important to get to them as a social media or internet live lead. So I've always left a voicemail. People often ask me, hey, what type of voicemail do you leave? I'm very direct. Hey, I'm getting back to you in regards to your online request for life insurance. The purpose of my call is to get you that information. Here's my phone number. You know, it's not, everybody can do it differently, but I'm very direct on what they were looking for and me getting them that information. So voicemails work as well. And then, let's talk about dialing the phone. So your introduction when you dial the phone is really going to be the same no matter what lead type you're getting to. Now, I've never been a big fan, and this is up to you. I've listened to a lot of people dial, but I don't like making up things that don't exist. So I've never called from the benefits center. I've never called from the mortgage protection center. I'm getting back to them in regards to a form they sent in and signed requesting to pay off their mortgage if they were to die. The purpose of my call is just to verify some information, and there you go. So that's my introduction every time I make a phone call. Also, what I would say is you could switch that into your social media. So I'm getting back to you in regards to some state-regulated life insurance programs designed to pay your burial and final expenses. Purpose of my call is just to verify this information. Same deal, same opening, same thing. Internet life lead. Matt Smith, I'm getting back to you in regards to online request for life insurance. The purpose of my call is just to verify some information here. So it's just a simple tweak. I've had a lot of people, hey, how do you do your openings? Usually whatever the lead says is how I'm going to do my opening. And I don't like to speak in terms where the client doesn't understand. That's why I like to say, burial and final expenses. That's why I like to say in regards to paying off your mortgage if you were to die, in regards to your online request for life insurance. Generally these different companies will have, code words that will say, your code word is, black, give some sort of authorization to having you call. Those are all important things that will help you tie down that appointment. But your intro is important because that's where they're going to figure out, are you that assertive person? I think your tonality, I think your pace, I think it needs to be very monotone almost. Not monotone, but you just don't want to be high voice, like excited when you call. But I think you have to have good pace in your voice, because good pace means you're confident. Good pace is control. So make sure you work on your pace when you're making dials. A lot of times when I hear people dial, when they have an objection or anything, man, they just get off track so easy. And what's crazy about this is there's only a few different objections that you're going to get. And let's use the internet life lead. A lot of times with the internet life lead, you're going to have, well, I was just looking for the price. Perfect. That's the purpose of my phone call. These are non-medical options, which requires me to verify your health. I'm sure you understand I can't do this over the phone. So what time are you generally off work, John and Mary? You get off, you're both home by about 6? Okay. Well, this is going to take me about 10 to 15 minutes to get you this information. I'll see you tomorrow between about 6:30 and 7. Does that sound fair? I always say, does that sound fair? And what you'll notice is that takes that price off the board. That takes, hey, I just wanted the information. Hey, send this information to me in the mail. We could use the same overcoming objections for different things. Send this information to me in the mail if it's direct mail. Oh, that's actually the purpose of my phone call. I'd love to send you that information in the mail. However, these are non-medical options, which requires me to verify your health, which I obviously can't do over the phone. I'm sure you'd understand. Are you working or retired? I'm retired. Great. I'm going to be out in your area tomorrow. I'll get you this information. It takes me about 10 or 15 minutes to do so. I'll see you between about 12 and 12:30. Does that sound fair? Yes. Always set yourself about a 30-minute window. Never call to verify appointments. Don't pick up the phone while you're out in the field. One of the things that a lot of people do is they'll pick up the phone and then the client will say, hey, I'll cancel. Number one rule is always showing up to your appointments. And I would say on cancellations, when people call and cancel, about 50% of the time, they'll still be home and you'll still go capture that sale. And people can be pretty elusive at times. I don't know why. I don't know why people fill out forms and make appointments and then a third of them don't show. But it's just the numbers. But if you show up to every single appointment, it gives you a big advantage. It gives you a big advantage that you normally wouldn't have. The other scenarios you're going to run up against the phone is maybe just saying, hey, I'm too busy, perfect. That's the purpose of my phone call. What time are you home from work? Generally they'll pick up the phone and they'll say, hey, I'm busy. Can you call me back? You need to transition into a quick set appointment versus quality set. So quick set appointments work like this. Hey, would you give me a call back, man? I'm at work. Perfect. Actually, that's the purpose of my phone call. What time are you and your spouse home from work? Oh, we get home at 6:30. Great. This in regards to that online request for life insurance quotes. My job is just simple. It's good to get you this information you requested. These are non-medical options, which requires me to see you and ask you a few health questions. I'm gonna be in your area tomorrow between about 6:30 and 7. Does that sound fair? So you quick set the appointment and you get off the phone because you really need to understand you got one shot. You got one shot at setting the appointment. And it's important for you to set that appointment and execute every single time. So, busy objections, price, mail it back. A lot of times people say, I'm not interested. Are you not interested because the price was too high because you got quotes already or because you couldn't qualify with your health? Oh, we already met someone and we took care of it. Great. Actually, that's the purpose of my call. You probably filled out multiple forms to make sure you can get the best offer. Since you already have a policy in place, I'm actually going to be out in your area. It's going to take me about 10 to 15 minutes to actually improve your existing coverage. All I need you to do is make sure you have the policy out when I see you tomorrow between about 6:30 and 7. Does that sound fair? See, I'm just assumptive. I'm just assumptive every single time. What's interesting is because I've been dialing leads for so many years now, I haven't dialed the phone in quite some time. But you can see just based off of me role playing with you right now that it's ingrained in my, it's just there. It's that 10,000 hour rule where I don't have the fear of the phone. I don't have, because it's repetition. It's repetition every single time. In fact, interesting story, I guess you call them free climbers or something like that. I think it's, the free climbers of mountain where they climb without any gear on. So they either are perfect or they die. Does that make sense? And the interesting thing about, the professional individual to do that free climbing is what they do is they practice so much that they dissipate the fear, that the fear goes away. So imagine in regards to fear, if you had something, this will help you out. If you had a fear meter and 1 was the lowest level of fear and 10 was the highest level of fear, like losing a loved one or, something like that. when you can put things in perspective, like I'm fearful of the phone, like on a scale of 1 to 10, are you going to die? You know, how fearful are we? Are you just scared that you're not going to make money? Like, do we get to the root of it, right? So anytime you think of true perfectionist and preparation, think of a free climber. They have to be perfect every single time. And guess what? In our business, we can make a mess as long as you put action behind it, and you can learn from your mistakes. But I promise, like, just because you watch someone make dials and take notes and all that stuff, until you put yourself in the fire, it's not the same. So I think it's extremely important for you to really take things on and eliminate those fears and be the free climber of our industry, right? And the difference is this. I will speak out of both sides of my mouth sometimes. I want you to have proper prior preparation to prevent poor performance. But I want you to be perfect, right? But nobody is. So I'd much rather see you take action and prepare in the evenings than sit there and say, well, I'm not ready. Or, I've heard so many stories about even leads being purchased for people, they still don't call them. I'm like, unbelievable. So, just make sure at the end of the day, it's action.